If you've been thinking about moving to the coastal city of Corpus Christi, Texas, then you're in the right spot. My name is Holly Hartman. I'm a local realtor here in the Coastal Bend. I live in Corpus Christi, and today I'm going to be going over the pros and the cons of living in this coastal city. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first benefit I want to go over is the laid back lifestyle. So a lot of people come to the coast to relax, to go on vacation, to go to the beaches, to go fishing. And the lifestyle here is much more relaxed, a lot less hustle and bustle than there is in the bigger cities like Dallas, Houston, and Austin. The second benefit is going to be the cost of living. So Corpus Christi comes in at 12% lower than the national average on the cost of living. And so for a house, the median house price here in Corpus Christi right now is about $270,000 compared to $550,000 in Austin. So if you want to be living close to the beach without breaking the bank, Corpus Christi is a great option. So benefit number 3 is going to be a growing economy here in Corpus Christi. We do have the Port of Corpus Christi, which is the largest exporter of crude oil in the United States. We also have energy companies like Valero and others. We're also seeing growth in the healthcare system, and tourism is a big thing here. We have the USS Lexington Museum, we have the Texas State Aquarium, and of course all the beaches and things like that bring in a lot of people. So overall our economy is growing, and hopefully we will continue to see that growth. So benefit number 4, I would say, is there's a lot of outdoor activities that you can do. So the beach is super close, about 15 minutes away, so you can always go to the beach. We've got downtown Corpus Christi, and they put on an art walk the first Friday of every month where vendors come out. There's live music, so there's just so many people walking around. It's kind of like a market days. There's live music. You can go around to the local businesses that are open and look at what the vendors have, and so it's just a fun way to get out. There's also farmers markets every Wednesdays, and there's a lot of other stuff going on. There's the Oso Bay Wetlands Preserve that offers nature trails, educational programs. If you go down to Ocean Drive, there's lots of parks, including Colt Park, and there's a pier there that you can go on. You can go fishing. There's a skate park there for any skateboarders that like to skate. And so overall, there's a lot of things you can do to get out. There's a lot of people out exercising, walking their dogs. And so that's a really great thing about living here, is just being able to get out with nature and enjoy the sunshine, take advantage of that. Benefit number 5 is going to be that Corpus Christi has a small town feel. It really does, but it has some big city amenities. Of course, it's not going to have as many as the bigger cities, but we do have a really great mall, La Palmera Mall. We have lots of shopping, all the conveniences, lots of grocery stores, lots of restaurants. We have cultural attractions like the Art Museum of South Texas and the South Texas Botanical Gardens and Nature Center. One big thing that we really enjoy here is that traffic is rarely an issue. And so you don't have the stress of the traffic that you would have in a big city. It's really not that bad. I'm not saying that everybody's a good driver here, because that is not true at all. But the traffic, the amount of traffic is not that bad here in Corpus Christi, and that is one reason that I really love it. Okay, so the last benefit that I'm going to be talking about is the mild winters. So if you hate the cold, then this is a good place to be. So we have very mild winters. It is January right now that I'm filming this, and I'm sitting at the beach. You can see that it's sunny. We did have a cold front come in that was cold, and most of us, not all of us, but most of us that have lived in South Texas our whole lives, we really hate when it gets really cold. We're big babies about that. So we do have mild winters. January and February are going to be the coldest months, and March is, we can get some last freezes in there, maybe one last freeze or some cold fronts coming in. But usually after that, it's warm. And our temperatures really don't get that low unless there is a cold front come in that's a freeze. The mild climate also attracts what we call winter Texans. And these are retirees and people who live up in very cold temperatures and the snow. And they come from the colder states to enjoy our warm winters. And so it's really nice weather in the winters, very mild. So if you really hate, being in the snow all the time, or it's too cold for you, this is doable here in the winter. Okay, so let's talk about the cons now. The first one is going to be the hurricanes and flood risk. So we live on the coast, so there's always a chance of hurricanes coming through. And as far as the flood risks go, it's just going to be dependent on which area, which flood zone you're in, which area you live. And so that's something we always check as realtors. We check and see your flood zones, let you know ahead of time, and you get with your insurance agent. Sometimes flood insurance is going to be mandatory depending on, where you live, what area you're living in. And sometimes it's going to be voluntary. So that's going to be con number one. Okay, so let's talk about the second drawback. If you are someone who really likes to party and have a lot of entertainment options and nightlife, Corpus Christi is getting better at that, but it's nothing compared to Austin or Houston. And so you might feel a little drawback on that if you're someone that likes to go out all the time and have a bustling nightlife. But other than that, we do have a lot of entertainment opportunities, just not so much compared to the bigger cities. Okay, so the next drawback is actually, in my opinion, a big one, which is public transportation. So not everybody has a car, not everybody wants to drive. Some people can't drive, and really all we have here is the bus system. And so having a car is kind of a must for most residents, and that's a big drawback, compared to bigger cities, compared to other places. It does make it hard on a lot of people that don't have a car, or that can't drive for some reason. Thankfully, traffic isn't bad, but if you're used to bigger transit systems, or you need transit systems, this could be a potential problem. Okay, so the last con that I'm going to talk about is the hot and humid summer. So depending on where you're coming from, it might not be that bad, or it might be really bad. So it gets super hot here, super humid in the summers, to where you wake up in the morning and the grass is wet, but it's hot at the same time. Temperatures, in the summers can get up to 100, over 100 with high humidity. So if you're not a fan of the heat, this is definitely something to keep in mind. So overall, Corpus Christi is a great place to live. My family and I moved here in 2016. At that time, we were moving from a smaller town. But we've lived in Austin, we've lived in Houston, and we were really looking for something that was not as stressful as living in a big town, because we had, at the time, 4 smaller kids. Everybody's going to a different school, and getting them to school and working and all of that can be very stressful, which I know many of you can relate to that. And so we were looking for a town that was bigger, like a city, but smaller, less stressful, more relaxed. And so those are some things that we really love about living here. We also love being close to the water. It's very nice to be able to just, 15-minute drive to the beach. I actually work on North Padre Island, and so I'm at the beach right now doing this video. If you love fishing, if you just love nature, then this is a really great place to be, and we personally really enjoy it. So I really hope you found value in this video. If you're moving to the Coastal Bend and you're looking for a realtor, please reach out. I'm very familiar and educated on all the different areas here in the housing market here. So if you have any additional pros or cons about Corpus Christi that you want to add, go ahead and do those in the comments. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.